Good evening. Who's with me right now? I'm going to try to share this out. Hey, Lamont, how are you? Welcome in. Welcome in. Started a couple minutes early. I'm going to try to share this out here real quick. Good evening, Helen. How are you? Welcome in. I need to tell Madeline and Elias to quit going live on Wednesday nights. They need to come over here with us. How are you tonight, Lamont? I know, Helen, when I saw that they posted that they were going live, I'm like, no, not now. But that's all right. We'll get them. We'll get them eventually. So we're going to wait for a few minutes to get some others to join. Skell, how are you? Welcome in, sir. And then we have a lot to cover tonight, actually. 3 submitted questions. I've got information to share that was released today. You may have seen some or all of it, but we'll go through that. And then we're going to pick up where we were last week. If you were with me, I had a question for everybody, and we'll start there and do that. So we were having a good conversation, and unfortunately, the blizzard that we were having last week, I lost power and lost my internet. So our stream died immediately. But hopefully we won't have any issues tonight. And we'll cover everything that we've got on our list. But we'll give it another minute or two. I'll quick shout out. Chris, CW, are you on? CC, are you on? Jessica, are you on? Hey, Jules, welcome in. It's a great day to be alive. So I want to give it a couple minutes to see if those guys join. They were the ones who submitted questions. Obviously, they can always listen to the answers on replay, but if they can be here, all the better. How's everybody's day today? Good hump day? Week's going by quick. Wednesday's here and gone already. Just about. Yeah, I saw that, Jules. And it's only March, so they've got 3 months left of the season. Hockey goes way too long. They should not be playing hockey in June. I feel the same way about the NBA. They should be over with by May at the latest. You hit June and it should be all about baseball. Okay, shout out again. CW, are you on? Only 11 games left? Wow. Yep, Helen, I'm excited about that. It's amazing. Major League Baseball, they play 162 game schedule. And it's always fascinating to me that so many years, one of the divisions comes down to the last day or the last week. And you think with all those games that they would separate much faster and not be bunched up at the end of the season. CW, CC, or Jessica, any of the 3 of you on? Yeah, I think it's the playoffs, Jules, that seem to take forever. Because if they only have 11 games left, they'll be done certainly by probably before the end of April. And then they'll start the playoffs, and those things run well into June. It's a long season. I have always thought, though, that of all the professional athletes out there, I think hockey players have got to be about the most talented and gifted athletes to be able to skate as fast as they do, stop on a dime, reverse their course of action, get hit, keep their balance, all of that stuff. It's pretty amazing how athletic they are. Yep, April 17th, last game. Yeah, so the playoffs will start in April and go into June. That's like almost 2 full months of playoffs. It's really crazy long. You guys enjoying college basketball? I love this time of year. That last Thursday, Friday, I think to me, those are the two best days of sports all year long. It's just, I love that. All those basketball games. So much fun with March Madness. Hey, Jessica, welcome in. You are on my list of people who've asked questions, so I want to make sure that we cover your question. CC or CW, have you joined basketball? What's that? It's a round thing that goes through a cylinder and they score points. I'm a bigger college fan when it comes to any sports. Although the reason why is almost gone now because of NIL, but I like college sports more simply because the vast majority of those players, they don't play professionally. So they're there truly for the love of the sport, not because of money, what have you. Jessica, I don't know about that. That your school, I don't mind. I think your coach is kind of I don't want to say it. I think he's a very nice guy. There you go. You, Jules, you and Jessica can argue between UConn and Maryland. Right now, I know they've only played 2 games. Each team's only played 2 games in the tournament, but boy, Duke looks really, really good. But yeah, college sports, you think about football in particular, although basketball's the same way. It used to be that you had your guys that would go on to play professional, which was a small portion of the players, and everybody else was there solely for the passion of the game. But now with the name, image, and likeness and the amount of money that college players are making, they've almost turned college sports into another level of professional sports. Hey, Shannon, how are you? Welcome in. All right, gang, I'm going to get started so we can cover everything we have tonight. I'm going to start with your question first, Jessica, since you had asked, and then hopefully CW and CC will have joined maybe by then, and we'll cover theirs. Hey, Unicourse, welcome in. So, Jessica, you asked, does Disney offer dietary restrictive menus? And I know you saw some commentary in Discord. And I think a lot of us, we've talked about this over the last year or so when I've done lives and when Janelle and I were together doing lives, that Disney's really aware of the dietary needs that folks have, whether it's gluten or it's other allergies. And they're very good at trying to satisfy guests that have those needs. So they absolutely strive to accommodate dietary requests, whether it's food allergies, intolerances, or medical restrictions. And that's at both table service and at their quick service or counter service locations. The best thing you can do if it's a dining reservation you've made, ask to speak to the chef before you place your order. Let them know whatever your restrictions are so that they can accommodate those. If you are at a quick serve, you can speak to each location is supposed to have a dietary trained cast member that can assist you. For example, like at Cosmic Rays, I thought this was pretty interesting. They were able to support folks that have gluten allergies, egg allergies, fish allergies, milk allergies, peanut allergies, sesame allergies, and soy allergies. So they do a really good job with a lot of that. Now, I have a couple more nuggets for you. If you are concerned, if you know you're going to eat at location X, Y, or Z, I could name 500 restaurants, but if you know you're going to eat at certain places before you've gone down, there's an email address, and I'm actually going to put it in the chat. I'll say it, but I'm going to put it in the chat as well so that you have it. So There's an email address right there, special.diets@disneyworld.com. They ask that you not email prior to 14 days before arrival. And you can ask your questions of them, let them know you're planning on eating at Cosmic Rays or Pecos Bills or ABC Commissary or whatever the restaurant is that you're going to eat at, and that you've looked at the menu and you think you're going to order X. And you can walk through with them what your concerns are, what your allergies are, and they can assist you with the ingredients that go into the meal that's being prepared at that location. So that's one option for you right there. Let me see what you said here, Jessica. I've researched some, and I do see a lot of gluten-free, vegan, vegetarian. Yeah. However, I'm a bit bizarre. Sugar carbohydrates are my main issues. Well, see, Jessica, so I will not dispute that you're a bit bizarre. We'll start there. Just kidding. But yeah, so you can try that email address. The other thing you can do, if you go to the Disney Parks blog, you can search. I wrote my notes down here on another piece of paper. You go out to Disney Parks blogs. You can look at the Disney Eats section, and there's information out there. You can search specific menu items, and they'll provide ingredients on a lot of those menu items. And then you can also search special events like food and wine, and they'll provide a lot of that information there. So there's a ton of info out there. And so I would encourage you, I'd probably start with the blog that I mentioned, the Disney Parks blog, and do some searching there. But notate that email address that I provided, and that can also assist you. And again, they don't want you to email them until at least no more than 14 days before your arrival. And I suppose part of that is because people are to reach out a month before, menus can change, right? And so what they shared with you at a certain point in time might change. So the closer to your location, the better. Yeah, screenshot that email address. Exactly. So, Jessica, I hope that helps. Again, Disney is incredibly aware of the fact that people have a variety of different food allergies or food restraints, and they do their very, very best to accommodate. I guess the last thing I would comment before we go on to the next question is you can absolutely bring in your own food. And I know folks who they believe Disney, they trust Disney, that Disney has their best interest in mind, and they'll do all that they can. But they are more comfortable knowing if I bring in my own food, I know absolutely without a shadow of a doubt that what I'm eating will not cause issues for me. So you can absolutely bring in your own food into the parks. Hey, Dina, good evening. Welcome in. So Jessica, hopefully that you're good. Thumbs up on that information. And did CC or Chris CW join yet? Email helps a lot. I don't have an option to shop during our trip, so the parks and restaurants are property. Okay. You can also, ahead of time, if you were to place a food order, like in a Walmart or a place like that, you could have it delivered to your resort. That's another option as well. I know there are also services there that they will shop on your behalf and then deliver to your resort. So some different options that are available. But I would certainly go to the food blog or go out to the Disney Parks blog and search around there for a little bit. Okay. So I'm going to go ahead and go on to the other two questions, even though they're not here. Hopefully they'll listen to the playback later on. Chris asked if there is Bell services for the Saratoga Springs Treehouse Villas. And so a couple notes here. Bell services, first off, they're at the Carriage House at Saratoga Springs. They can assist with luggage. Hey, John, how are you? Welcome in. Good to see you. Bell services can assist with luggage to the Treehouse Villas at Saratoga Springs. They can receive, store, or deliver grocery orders as well, and they'll do that for a small fee. Luggage delivery is free, but tipping is at your discretion, and I would certainly encourage it. There is no traditional room service, however, at Saratoga Springs at all. So I wish Chris was on so I could ask, but when he asked the question, he specifically asked about bell services, but I thought I would look at room services while just in case. Hey, Chris, how are you? I was just answering your question. Bell service is available at Saratoga Springs for the Treehouse Villas. They can assist you with your luggage. They can receive, store, and deliver grocery orders for a small fee. Luggage can be delivered to your villa in the treehouse free of charge, but tipping is at your discretion, and I would encourage it. There is no traditional room service, however, at any of the Saratoga Spring locations or rooms. So hopefully, Chris, that covered what you were inquiring about. And if not, you can ask an additional question. John Minton, welcome in. I don't remember if you've been on these in the past, but we have a Discord channel for the Park Life podcast, and I've got a page there where folks can submit questions ahead of time, and I like to address those first. After that, I tend to try to have some new, late breaking news for Disney, and then tonight I have a question to ask everybody. So that'll be fun. We started that last week, and I lost power due to a blizzard, so we're going to start that up again tonight at the end and wrap with that this evening. So I'm happy to have you here. Definitely tip the bell people, especially, boy, if you're going there in the middle of summer and it's hot as blazes and they're hauling your luggage for you. I would absolutely do that. When should discounts start up? So Shannon, I assume you're specifically asking for November, when a lot of us are going to be down there together, because there are discounts in play right now. And actually that's one of the things on my list. So I'll ask you to hold that, and I'll get to that here in just a minute. But I do have that on my list to talk about. So let me get to the last question. And I don't know if Cece joined or not, but again, I'll answer her question, and she can always listen to the playback. She asked, and I thought this was a fun question to ask. And if any of you have experience, by all means, put your comments in the chat. She asked, how do you handle a solo trip to the parks for the first time? Advice to making it less nerve-wracking. So I know Cece's been to the parks before, but I think she's been with other people. So I assume that this would be her first time going solo. Some of my tips are going to be, regardless of whether you're going by yourself or going with a group of people, they apply either way. Create a wish list of things you want to do, prioritize them. I know, Helen, I saw that you said that solo trips are the best, because your last solo trip, you got to meet me. Of course, create a wish list, prioritize the things that you want to do. Whether you're there all by yourself or you're there with a group of people, you will probably not get everything done. So have your priority of the things that you want to make sure that you do, so you can knock those things off so you feel like you accomplished what was most important to you. I've been there dozens and dozens of times, and we still make a list of what's must do, what's like to do, what's if we get it done, we get it done, whatever. Cece, welcome. Good. Hey, good. I'm glad you're here. We're just starting to talk about your question again. Cece's question was, how do you handle a solo trip to the parks for the first time? Advice to making it less nerve-wracking. So I start off by saying create a wish list and prioritize those things so that you make sure that what's most important to you, you get done on that trip. If you've been to the parks before with a group of people, this next one might not necessarily be applicable, but make sure you're familiar with the My Disney Experience app. That thing is lifesaver, whether it's looking at wait times, mobile ordering, whatever the case may be. Be familiar with that so that you're adept in getting through that sort of thing. I think I said this already, but do not expect to do it all, whether you're there by yourself or not. You will run out of time. I'm fuzzy. My picture's fuzzy, or I didn't shave fuzzy. Anyway, also take advantage of the single rider lines, Cece, when you're there. There are a number of rides that have single rider line. Depending on when you are going, Test Track might be reopened. They had a single rider line previously, and I would assume that they will have it when it reopens. Everest has a single rider line. Smuggler's Run has one. Rise of the Resistance now has a single rider line. Rock and Roller Coaster, as long as it's still open, it will have a single rider line, and Remy has a single rider line. So take advantage of those. You're going to go for Star Wars Day. Well, place is going to be packed. So expect that. You may not get a lot done because of so many people, but to me, it's kind of like being there on New Year's Eve or Christmas Day or whatever. You're not necessarily there for all of the rides. You're there for the experience, being May the 4th, or New Year's Eve, or whatever the case may be. So just soak in the experience and have fun with that. Enjoy your freedom, right? If you spur of the moment say, you know what, I want to go right instead of left, you don't have to worry about anybody else. You can just choose to do that. So enjoy that freedom. This sounds silly, but make sure you hydrate. It's easy when you're with a group of people that one of you remembers and says something, but if you're all alone, make sure you're staying hydrated, especially if you're going to go in May. It could be pretty hot. If you're not hydrating well enough, your vacation might get kind of derailed a little bit. Look, Disney is a very safe place. I've never felt concerned about my safety or my family's safety whatsoever. But if you're there by yourself, just play it safe. Let somebody know where you're going to be, just in case. And it doesn't necessarily have to be that somebody does something to you. You could have something happen that is unexpected, and if somebody knows where you're going to be, that might help out in the long run. And then let's see here. Again, I said can't do it all. Prioritize and make sure you get all the photos. You're there by yourself. Have a great time with the characters. Enjoy that. Get the photos taken. Whatever you can. Do all of those things. And like Helen said, solo trips are the best. I know the first time I did like trip and skin your knee, Shannon, I don't know what you're talking about. The first time I ever walked into the Magic Kingdom by myself, it will be 2 years ago this May, so almost 2 years ago. Lori and Tanner were there with me. The intent for me to be down there was to do some travel agent stuff. And so one evening I had to be at Magic Kingdom for an event, and they went, I don't know where they went. They went to another park. And it was kind of odd, I guess, to walk underneath the tunnel of the train tracks there at the train station and walk down Main Street all by myself. It was memorable because I could just soak it all in myself. I didn't have to worry about, somebody getting their ankle twisted on the trolley tracks down Main Street, or making sure that they saw this or didn't run into somebody or whatever. I got to just solely focus for myself for that a little bit of time. Yeah. So Helen, a group trip. I mean, for me, a group trip is going to be in May when I'm there with 7 family members. That, to me, that's a group trip. I know the guy could go. Yes, I know exactly what Shannon's talking about. Hey, Ruby, how are you? She danced her way across the living room. Something you will not see me do is dance my way across the computer screen. But yes, I know exactly what Shannon's talking about. Remember it like it was just almost yesterday, Shannon. But yeah, so it was cool to walk down Main Street all by myself and really just be able to soak it all in, and enjoy what my eyeballs wanted to see at that moment and not worry about anybody that I was with. Yeah, that's cool, Jules. I love that. I do remember, side note, one year I had to take a business trip to Orlando, and it was in December, and it just so happened that night was Christmas party night at the Magic Kingdom. And so a coworker and I, like, what the heck, we're here, let's buy tickets. And we went. This is probably 15 years ago, maybe. And so I'm in Magic Kingdom for the Christmas party, and I call back home, and I'm like, you'll never guess where I'm at. I couldn't even answer because all I heard was, you better not be at Disney World without me. So my excitement kind of got tarnished there a little bit. But anyway, let's see here. Yeah, you do. Helen, you're right. If you're in that car all by yourself in Big Thunder Mountain, you do get slid back and forth pretty easily. Um, I'll be honest with you guys. I love that ride. I'm excited for when it reopens to see, if the track's smoother because they put in a new track, what the experience is like. But I'll be honest with you. Since my second cancer surgery, when they removed my kidney, um, I kind of have to be careful riding that because if I get banged pretty good on that side, um, it it takes something out of me for a while, maybe half hour. So I have to kind of lay low. So I used to be able to ride that thing three, four, five, six times without thinking twice. Now it's right at once, and maybe I'll ride it again later on. We'll see. But anyway, okay, Cece, are you good on that? Hopefully. Chad said I'm not allowed to be a Goofy fan. Well, it's not really so much a Goofy fan as I have Goofy's personality. But if Chad's listening, and if he's not, you can share this story. And some of you heard this story before, so bear with me. But um, I'm a Goofy fan because the very first time I ever went to Disney World, Magic Kingdom was the only park that was there. Okay. And we parked in the parking lot because we camped. Had a camper that we pulled, drove all the way from Nebraska down there. We camped, parked at the parking lot at the Magic Kingdom, got on the paddle boat, and as we're going across, and I was 6 years old. It was the summer of 1976. I was 6 years old. We're going across. I look out to my left, and a speedboat comes up alongside of us. And I keep watching, and as he keeps going, behind him is Goofy water skiing behind that speedboat on the Seven Seas Lagoon. And so, of all of the things I can remember of Disney trips ever, that sits at the very top of my favorite memories whatsoever. And so that is why I am a massive Goofy fan. It's something not everybody gets to see. That's for sure. I like to joke that Disney used to do that until they learned about alligators in water, and then they stopped doing it. But actually, Disney used to do surfing lessons at the Polynesian Resort. They had a wave machine that would produce waves, and they would do surf lessons. They didn't stop doing those because of alligators. They stopped doing that because the wave machine was eroding the beach. And so they had to kill the wave machine and stop doing those. But yeah, it's interesting the different things that they have. Yep, about surfing lessons. There you go. Yeah, Dina, I love that memory. It's crazy to think though that was back in the day when again Magic Kingdom was the only park. That was I think 5 years before Epcot even opened. I don't think they'd even started construction at that point in time. Yeah, it was eating their pristine white sand away. That's right. So hopefully, Shannon, my reason for liking Goofy is okay with Chad if he knows that story. Hopefully that helps a little. Okay. Let's talk about some of the new stuff that just got announced today. And I know some of this was on social media and some of you have probably seen it. If you're in various discords, the dishes are calling. Wow. My dishes don't call me. I'm allowed. Thank you. I appreciate that, Chad. Thank you. Oh, wait, never mind. Dishes can wait. Yes. Okay. So Disney announced today, and the first thing I'm going to share with you, my guess is you either didn't hear about it at all or it was below the radar from some of the other things that they announced. And so you may not even seen it or heard about it or whatever, paid attention to it. And this first stuff is really kind of geared towards kids. I suppose it could be the big kids like us or the little kids, but from May 27th through September 1st, so essentially all of summer, Disney has announced a number of limited time experiences, including kid zones, pop-up entertainment, games, music, and dancing around the parks. At Magic Kingdom, for instance, there's going to be a kid zone in Storybook Circus back in Fantasyland. And there's also going to be a kid zone in Tomorrowland with Stitch. Pretty exciting there. There's going to be Kids Zone in Epcot as well. Yes, with Goofy, that's right. So pretty cool stuff. They're also going to have characters out early in the parks for resort guests. So if you're not familiar with this, if you stay on property in a Disney resort, you get early entry into all 4 parks, and it's 30 minutes. And it's typically to get on the rides, get in lines, ride stuff before the non-resort guests get in. But if you've ever done that before in Rope Drop in any of the parks staying on property, you don't see any characters. They're not out at all. So this will be kind of cool if you're there for characters. You'll get to see characters out and about for the early resort guest entry. If, again, this is May 27th through September 1st. If you happen to be staying at Art of Animation, Pop Century, Caribbean Beach Resort, or Wilderness Lodge, they are going to have special character visits at those resorts. I missed something there, Jessica. Oh, the dishes. So they're going to have character visits at those 4 resorts. If you have a package booked for Disney this year, package meaning on-property stay and park tickets, you get free water park admission on your check-in day. I've seen a ton on social media about that. It is on your check-in day. So if you check in on June 1st at one of the Disney resorts on June, and again, it's a package with tickets, on June 1st, and on June 1st only, you get free admission into the water parks, whichever one is open. I think by then it'll be Typhoon Lagoon. I think Blizzard Beach is closing up here sometime in early April. If your flight doesn't come in until 6 o'clock at night, but you're still checking into the resort that night, you're not going to get free water park admission because the water parks are closed by the time you would get there from the airport. If you're supposed to fly in at 9 o'clock in the morning and your flight's on time and you land, you go to your resort, you can dump your luggage at Bell Services. You can go right off to the water park and enjoy the free admission. If you're supposed to land at 9 in the morning and your flight gets delayed and you don't come in until later on at night, Disney does not make accommodations for that. It's on your check-in day, period. Yes, that's right, Jessica. It does get added to your My Disney Experience app if you have a package booked and your reservation number or confirmation number is put on your MDE account. But again, it's on your check-in day at your resort. Now, if you're going to fly in late, say you're landing at 7 o'clock at night, and the free water park is really important to you, then I'll just make this up. Flying in late on June 1st. Stay at a hotel by the airport the night of June 1st. Check into your Disney resort on June 2nd. June 2nd is your check-in day at Disney. You would have free water park admission on June 2nd. So, yep. Yes, between that deal and spring break, yes. And Blizzard Beach is hitting like their 20th or 25th anniversary, I think on April 1st. So there's kind of a big deal about that. So again, the free water park admission is a great offer. I would say this, it's, you could use the word promotion, but it's not a promotion like getting 20% off your room or ticket promotion. It's just a free add-on bonus, if you will. And I say that because typically Disney does not allow you to stack promotions. So if you're getting this benefit, maybe that's a better word to use, benefit, you can still qualify for one of the promotions for room or tickets, whatever might be in play at the point in time that you're going. So it's not free water parks or the other. It's an add-on bonus. Okay. Also, I thought this one kind of hit more mainstream notifications out there today that I saw. Starting May 27th, which has got to be like the day after Memorial Day. Yes, it's the day after Memorial Day. So if you're there Memorial Day weekend, you're kind of missing out on everything I just covered, and you're missing out on what I'm about to announce. May 27th, which is a Tuesday, Disney will debut at Hollywood Studios the 2 new shows, The Little Mermaid, A Musical Adventure, And if you've been to Hollywood Studios in years past, there was an inside Little Mermaid show that closed when COVID happened, and it never reopened. They've been refurbishing that theater for the last year or so, maybe longer. And finally, the new show is going to open on May 27th, The Little Mermaid, a Musical Adventure. Also at Hollywood Studios, if you're familiar with where Rock and Roller Coaster is, so you walk down, I think it's Sunset Boulevard, and you've got Tower Terror facing you as you're walking down, and then you veer off to the left and go underneath the whatever that is there. I think it's like a musical note streaming over, and then you see the giant guitar, and then the roller coaster is inside the building there. To the right of that, they used to have Lightning McQueen's Racing Academy. That got shut down earlier this year, and they are changing it to become Disney Villains Unfairly Ever After. That show will open up on May 27th. So I am like over the moon excited about those two things, or really all of it, because that all happens on May 27th. I don't know that Disney did this on my behalf, but I arrive on May 29th. So we will get to enjoy the two new shows at Hollywood Studios. Hopefully enjoy some of the Kid Zone things that they have at the parks, as well as the character meet and greets early on. Usually, so my kids, my youngest is 19. He's a freshman in college. Yeah, the villains thing, they did get it up pretty quick, Helen, and I have thoughts about that here in a second too. So my youngest is 19. So it's been a long, long time since we were there to do characters with our kids. Most of you know this, but when we go here in May, it's my whole family, and so we are taking my grandson, who will be 22 months, 21 months, somewhere in that neighborhood, when we're down there. And so I'm excited about the fact that they're going to have characters out for resort guests during early park entry, because that's probably going to be a lot of the time that we spend down there is for him to see the characters. So I'm excited about that. I'm excited about the different Kid Zone stuff that they're going to have going on. And of course, the two new shows. Helen, I certainly expect to have a lot of fun. And, there are things, and some of you guys might know what I'm talking about, but as you get older in life, there are things that hit you differently and you think about, and they mean more to you. For instance, we've been to Disney numerous times with my kids and my parents. Okay, so my dad, me, and all three of my boys, 3 generations. Never. Am I back? I'm back. Okay, good. So it struck me that there are going to be 4 generations of the family down there, which is going to be amazing. I'm so excited about that. It's going to mean so much. I'm going to, when my youngest, who's 19, when he was 2 and we took him for the first time, there's nothing better than experiencing Disney through the eyes of a 2-year-old. And that, goofy water skiing is my number one memory. Second is when Tanner was 2 and we took him for the first time. But this trip, I'm going to get to see Disney through the eyes of I'll just say 2-year-old. He's 20 months. A 2-year-old through the eyes of his dad, who's my son. I cannot even begin to imagine how amazing that's going to be, how exciting that's going to be. Looking forward to it. So anyway, okay, I probably missed some stuff here, so I apologize, guys. Okay, so those things. The next thing that was announced today, and again, some of you may have seen this, but Buzz Lightyear Space Ranger Spin at Magic Kingdom, which is in Tomorrowland, right next to the Monsters, Inc. laugh floor, pretty close to where you get on the People Mover. That ride is closing in August of 2025. They didn't say a specific date in August, but it's closing in August of 2025 for a significant refurbishment. It will reopen sometime in 2026. They did not have a date. There's going to be new show scenes, redesigned ride vehicles. I think that's pretty big. Um, Upgraded gameplay features, enhanced interactive elements, and the blasters that are stationary or attached are going to be handheld, kind of like at Disneyland. You'll be able to pull them up. There'll be probably a cord, and you'll be able to aim. With the refurbishments, I think the lasers are supposed to be more effective. You can more easily see which one is yours, that sort of stuff. So exciting for that. Not happy about the fact it's going to be closed for multiple months. And you figure that right along with Big Thunder Mountain will still be closed at that point in time. So that's kind of a bummer, but progress is a good thing overall, right? So that's that. The other thing that Disney shared, and I'll be kind of open and transparent with you guys, this drives me bonkers. Disney shares stuff usually the day before or 2 days before with their travel agent community about here's what we're going to announce on X date. Okay. And to me, my feeling is that they share that with us so that we can be prepared for it, so that when it happens, the day that it happens, we're ready to go. Inevitably, there are outlets that then share that information right away to everybody. And it kind of annoys me because I feel like, the Disney might as well just announce it to everybody and not just announce it to travel agents. But nonetheless, since it's been publicized out there, I figured what the heck. Starting tomorrow, Disney is announcing a handful of new promotions. If you're a Visa Disney Chase card holder, they're going to do the free dining. I know they've announced that already, but they're extending that for bookings. Must be a 4-day, 4-night minimum with Park Hopper. And then there are different dining package windows for free dining. So that's one of the promotions. For May 27th, check-ins through September 20th. Kids are 50% off tickets for a 3-day or longer. And kids' tickets are for ages 3 to 9. The third promotion that they're coming out with, and I know they had this one last year in 2024, for park days April 6th through September 22nd. So it's a long stretch. A 3-day, 3-park ticket is $89 per day, which is $267 plus tax. There's a caveat to that, though. Sorry. That 3-day, 3-park ticket is good for 1 day at Epcot, 1 day at Hollywood Studios, 1 day at Animal Kingdom. Does not include Magic Kingdom. So if you're going down there for 3 days and your intent was to go to Magic Kingdom on one of the days, that package is not good for you. Hey, Janie, you're never too late. On the tram, back to the car. Awesome. I would have been happier if you said on the Skyliner, back to the car, but we'll accept the tram, I suppose. So again, that 3-day, 3-park ticket, $89 a day is a great deal, but it's Epcot, Hollywood, and Animal Kingdom only. The fourth promotion, this is for stays August 1st through October 11th. So almost your post-summer. Think about this. Usually Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween Party starts around the second week of August, runs through October. So this hits a lot of that. Up to 30% off rooms when you stay, I think it's 4 days or longer. Me and the Skyliner. Of course, Tina. Of course. Any new Florida residents during the Dream Stream? Okay. So that was somebody had asked early on about I think it was Shannon, promotions down the road. Disney has not announced any new promotions past what I just shared. So that up to 30% off room rate stay right now through October 11th. That's as far out as they've done. And that's not unusual. They usually wait until 3-4 months before to announce promotions. So they had promotions that ran last year, November into December. I would imagine that they'll do the same this year. What they'll be, I don't know. If it's tickets, if it's rooms. But as soon as I know, I'll let you guys know for sure. If you are not on our Park Life Discord, I would encourage you to join it. I don't know if Tina or somebody, if you want to put the link in chat, that would be awesome. I'd appreciate it. I have a promotions page on there. So when Disney announces promotions, I put that information out there. So it's readily available to you. Thank you, Tina. I appreciate that. So since Tina just said that, I will tell you this, Tina. I've used you as an example when I talk to people about promotions and saving them money, but I never say that to you guys. But since you've just said it, that's one. Let me back up. I just released. Thank you for putting the Discord out there. Hey Sam, how are you? How much did you miss? You missed 45 minutes. That's how much you missed. I just did a podcast that posted on Monday about the value of using a travel agent. And of course, I would love for you to work with me. But one of the values of a travel agent is that they can do all of the worrying for you. They can do all of the stress management for you. Like this with promotions that come out. Like Tina said, I had booked their trip. It was for last year's Dreamstream. Had already booked it. And then promotions came out. And to me, it's one of the most exciting things to be able to do is to reach out and say, hey, great news. A promotion came out. You qualified for it. And I already got it applied to your account. And you just saved X dollars. Hers was unique because they did tickets separate from the resort stay. They didn't do a package, which you can do. There's pros and cons. The pro was she took advantage of a ticket promotion and took advantage of a room rate promotion. And I was able to save her money through both of those. The downside of doing it that way is you typically hear it's a $200 deposit when you book with Disney. Well, it's a $200 deposit if you're doing a package stay, room and tickets, $200 deposit at the time of booking. The balance is due 30 days before check-in. If you do them separately, the deposit for the room is your first night stay plus tax. How much that is depends upon the room rate and which resort you're at, right? If you're staying at All-Star Sports, it might be around $200. If you're staying at the Polynesian, it might be $800 or $900 for your deposit. The tickets, if you do those separately, you pay 100% upfront when you buy them. So that's the downside of doing them separately. But in Tina's case, I was able to essentially stack promotions because they were two separate reservations, if you will. On promotions, so that I'm all over the place. Sorry, guys. So again, that's one of the benefits of using a travel agent. You don't have to pay attention when promotions come out because if you book it yourself, you can still do the same thing that I just did, but you got to pick up the phone and wait on hold. Could be 10 minutes, could be 2 hours, depends upon what's going on to get Disney to say, yes, we can apply that promotions or no, you don't qualify or whatever the case may be. It's very important to note that when Disney rolls out promotions, I'll use the room rate one, the August 1st through October 11th, up to 30% off room stays. It's a limited quantity of rooms. So just because they have vacancy doesn't mean every room is promotion available, if you will. They limit the number of rooms, and once they sell out, they sell out. So it's always important if one comes out and you're interested that we get you booked right away so that you can secure the promotion. Disney is incredibly flexible with their stuff. Let's say you were going to book for November for our event and you booked today and tomorrow a promotion came out and I got it applied and saved you money. If for whatever reason, prior to 30 days, when the balance is due, you have to cancel your trip, all of it's refunded back to you, even the $200 deposit. If you get inside of 30 days, then the refund gets to be a little bit different than that, but they're pretty forgiving about all of that stuff. Okay. There are Disneyland promotions going on as well, up to 20% off resort stays. And they have for their anniversary coming up, a ticket package, $100 per day for a 4-day pass. So pretty good deal there. Okay, so I know in the Discord, somebody had asked about Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween Party and when would tickets be released for that? Usually late April or early May. So we're about 30 to 45 days away from when they historically have released the dates and made tickets available for purchase. First, most important note on that is when they do make the announcement, let's just pretend it's on April 1st. That here are the dates, here are the prices. It's usually about the first week that ticket sales are only available to resort guests. So if you have a trip planned and it's booked, you're able to buy your Halloween party tickets. If you're not staying on property or you're a local, you got to wait for that roughly week resort guest window to lapse, and then ticket sales are available for everyone else. Just an added benefit for resort guest stays. In that same vein, as far as the Halloween party goes and when do those get released, I'm expecting, honestly, in the next, again, 30 to 45 days that 2026 reservations will open up. And it's hard to say 2026 because I struggle saying 25 right now. But last year, at the end of February, Disney opened up most of 2025 for bookings. So here we are almost at the end of March, and they've not opened 2026 bookings. So I imagine that's going to happen pretty soon as well. All right. We are down to my question for all of you. And so if you were with us last week, you kind of know what we're going to do. I'm going to start all over. So if you weren't with us last week, with Epic opening, do you see a possible decrease in crowd level or uprising? So Epic opens up on May 22nd. 1 week later, I will be at Disney. I am praying as all get out that everybody goes to Epic. I imagine there'll be some of that, Tina, that you'll have maybe some crowd level impact at Disney, but Disney is still Disney, right? There is a set of guests that Disney is their thing, and Universal/Epic is just not their thing, right? And so you're going to have that. But I would imagine you'll see some flow of it. Whether I mean, like I said, I'm there a week after, and I hope that happens. Logically, I don't think it will that early, because I think a lot of people that are traveling, we're probably going to want to wait until Epic's not brand spanking new and everybody and their mother's there. So, I see, Helen, you're a prime example of that, right? People that aren't big into thrill rides, and because of the thrill rides, people with little kids, there's not as much at Universal as there is at Disney. You went with Family and Friends Day for oh, really? So I hope it impacts crowds at Disney some, but I guess we'll find out. Okay, so let's play. I asked you guys the question, and again, if you were with us last week, you kind of know what the question is. But for those of you that weren't with us last week, we're going to start at the very beginning. So my question to you is, and we'll start at Magic Kingdom. Okay, name one ride, show, or attraction that you would be willing to close down forever in place of a new ride, show, or attraction. And I'm not asking you what that new thing would be. I'm solely asking you, what one thing at Magic Kingdom would you be willing to say goodbye to for a new attraction? Ooh, Helen says Winnie the Pooh. Wow. Out of the gates with a surprise. Space Mountain. Skell says Speedway, Speedway, Speedway. Oh, Tina with Peter Pan's Flight. Oh, wow. Anybody else want to chime in with what you would get rid of? Helen, yours is interesting. Space Mountain. You can't. Small World says Le Mans. Dina's staying with Dina. Walt is rolling over in his grave again because of you. Yeah, Helen, I've never been a huge Space Mountain fan myself. Sherry says Small World. It's better at land, even though I've never been. Okay. Tina. So there's a photo of you bawling your eyes out. That's funny, Helen. Okay, so I actually had two different answers in my mind, and I shared these last week. So if you were with us, you know my answers. But the first one I thought of was the Tomorrowland Speedway that Skell mentioned. I think if they repurpose that whole area for a different ride, I don't think a lot of people would miss that. The other one for me was the Family Robinson Treehouse. I think that area could be done with something differently. You missed out a bunch last time. So Shannon will have to make sure you do everything that you didn't get to do. See, Helen, exactly. I said that last week. In the dozens of times I've been there, I can't tell you how many times I've walked right by it, and I don't walk by going, "Oh, there's the treehouse." I walk by not even realizing it's there. So I could easily give that thing up, and I wouldn't lose any sleep over it. Yeah. So Dina, I think part of the heartburn I have with that Carousel Progress is the fact that Walt designed that for the World's Fair in 1964, 1965, well before Magic Kingdom ever came around. So I think that's why it's just so ingrained in the fabric of Disney lovers that was a Walt original. So if I had to pick one of the two, I think I'd get rid of the treehouse. I suppose I'd keep the Speedway, but either one of those I'd be okay giving up. And so, okay, for me personally, it gets harder after this. The next three parks, it gets harder because there's not as much stuff to do, but it gets harder. Shannon, of course, we're going to do Guardians twice. You better believe it. No doubt about it. Okay, let's go over to Epcot. I always like to do parks in order of when they open. So Magic Kingdom always comes first, Epcot second. So Epcot, what is your one show, ride, or attraction that you're going to get rid of, not lose any sleep over it, so Disney could put something new in? Mission Space. The Land. Oh my God, Tina, you're killing me. Mission Space. Yes, Helen, there you go. Christmas time. The Land is pretty spectacular. Mission Space for Shannon. So Tina, would you give up the Land or would you give up Mission Space? And I'm sitting down, so if you say Land, I'll be okay. Helen says Mission. Oh my gosh, Tina. Okay, I'll accept it. You like Mission Space? Yes, Land has a couple good months with Christmas time for sure. All right. So Tina, you like Mission Space. Do you like green? Do you like orange? Both? Do you have a preference? You like orange. Wow. Okay. There's always one in the bunch, right, guys? Just kidding. You're a thrill person. Yeah, I think that's a lot of people's challenge, Helen, is if you're claustrophobic at all, that you're so squeezed in there. Yep. So, okay. All right. We're going to go to the next park now. We're going to Hollywood Studios. Again, I think it gets harder and harder with each of these. So, what's one ride, show, or attraction at Hollywood Studios that you're willing to get rid of in place of something brand new? This one could be all over the place. Helen says Indiana Jones. I'll save my answer till I see some of yours. Tina with Star Tours. Beauty and the Beast, Helen says. Did you guys know? I love this tidbit. The day that Beauty and the Beast debuted at Hollywood Studios is the exact same day that the animated movie Beauty and the Beast debuted in movie theaters. I think that's such a cool little tidbit. So Dina, you says Star Tours. Lamont says Indiana Jones. Alan, you don't know if you can be friends. That's funny. Janie, you hate Star Tours? Okay, so Janie, in November, you and I are going to ride Skyliner to Hollywood Studios, and then we're going to ride Star Tours together. How's that sound? Okay, so I'll give you my answer. I struggled with this one because there's not a lot of things at Hollywood. So my answer was Indiana Jones, and um, my feeling was close Indiana Jones down. That's a big area you could put in a new ride, which Hollywood Studios could use a new ride even once Monsters Inc. Land opens up. If you're going to have the dinosaur ride become Indiana Jones, why don't you move the Indiana Jones stunt show over to Animal Kingdom then? I saw a comment. Somebody made a comment here. Helen, yes, I love that Star Tours is always different. Absolutely. And I've said this before, and some of you guys might have heard me say this. I would absolutely love if Soarin' took a page out of Star Tours playbook and they had multiple Soarin' shows and it was random as to which one you got. I would love that. Yes, Sneezeball rides. Okay, so Tina, you're okay with me moving Indiana Jones over to Animal Kingdom? Okay, and so that brings us to our last park then, and that is Animal Kingdom. What's one ride, show, or attraction you would be willing to get rid of at Animal Kingdom for something new? Yeah, so Tina, I think the boneyard that they have right there now, they could leave that and retheme it so that you're digging up relics like Indiana Jones does in his movies. I think that'd be pretty cool. Lamons likes Star Tours more than he does Smugglers. You know what? I'm not so bad with that comment, to be honest with you. Um, Holy cow, Janie, you are killing me. You don't like the Lion King show? I think that's the best daytime show at Disney. Tina says Navi. Okay. There's nothing left to close, Helen said. That's funny. Uh-oh, Janie's getting some hate, right? So Tina, solely ride alone, I would have probably said Navi as well. But because there's only two things in Avatar, unless they're going to put in a better Avatar ride, then I feel like you got to keep Navi. Man, I got a frog in my throat or something. One thing that I'm realizing, Animal Kingdom, they don't have a lot of rides, period, but they have hardly anything for kids that are toddler age. You have Navi that has no height restrictions. You have the jungle, the safari that has no height restrictions. And you have the train to Rafiki's Planet Watch that has no height restrictions. That's it. Dinosaur has height restriction. Everest, Cali River Rapids, Flight of Passage all have height restrictions. So they need to add some more rides that are family friendly for everybody. Tina, which bird show are you talking about? Are you talking about the one by the Tree of Life or the one back towards Everest? Because I love that one back there. I think that bird show is amazing. To see what the birds can do and how close they get to you. And man, I get the hair on my arms stands up when they bring out the bald eagle. Wow, that just is breathtaking to me. Okay, so we had Navi. Dina said the boneyard. I could do away with the boneyard too. But again, if they leave it, just retheme it to fit in with Indiana Jones and have it be a relic dig. Navi could be better. Janie, you are invited for November because you and I are riding Skyliner and riding Star Tours. And I'm sure there are other things that you don't want to do that you're going to do with me. So, Shannon said Everest since it took your hat. Just kidding. Well, Shannon, we'll need to ride Everest this coming November. Yeah, I mean, Animal Kingdom needs more stuff, right? No doubt about it. I also believe, Now in the summertime, it's kind of hard to do because the sun goes down so late, but leave Avatar and the Tree of Life, that area, and then to the front of the park open later so that you can enjoy the luminescent stuff in the concrete, whatever, in Avatar, and you can see the projection shows on the Tree of Life. Hey, Ronnie, how are you? Welcome in. Happy to see you. So, Ronnie, we are talking about what we would get rid of at each park so that they could build something new. And my question isn't what would you add? It's just what would you get rid of? And so at Magic Kingdom, a lot of us said either the Tomorrowland Speedway. There were a couple for Carousel of Progress. There was a Winnie the Pooh. There was a Peter Pan. I also mentioned the family treehouse, the Robinson family treehouse. At Epcot, most everybody said Mission Space. Tina, who's still on with us, but she's treading on thin ice, said Living with the Land. At Hollywood Studios, there was some Star Tours to get rid of Star Tours. A couple of Indiana Jones. Somebody suggested maybe the Beauty and the Beast show. And now we were talking about Animal Kingdom. And the thing I put on my list for Animal Kingdom, and I put this on here. Look, there's not enough stuff in Animal Kingdom, so to get rid of anything hurts as it is. But I think I would get rid of Rafiki's Planet Watch. A lot of people don't even know it's there. B, a lot of people, if they do take the train back there, they don't really want their kids going into the petting zoo and smelling like a goat the rest of the day, especially if it's hot out. And so I think they could do so much with that area back there. You could still leave the train and get you back there, but then do something different. Although I do love the veterinary aspect, and I love the where you can do the drawing stuff back there too. I like that. But I just think there's a lot of space back there that they could do something different with. Yeah, but see, Janie, you live there now, so you can like go home and shower right away. The rest of us are at the park all day long, sweating and smelling like livestock, and then we got to sit next to somebody on a bus, and they kind of give us that look like, man, you stink. Yeah, Ronnie Dina said Carousel of Progress should be shut down at Magic Kingdom. So as you can see, this is a very lenient stream here. I don't kick you out just because you have crazy ideas like Living with the Land, Tina, or Carousel of Progress, Dina. Yeah, Tina, you're right. I think it does feel like a learning experience. Yeah, Janie, I don't know if I want to smell like a goat or a camel, though. That stink is a little bit different than I'm at Disney. I don't want to smell like I'm at the county fair. All right, Dina, I'm down for that. We can ride Carousel of Progress together in November. Love it. Okay, so let's go back to each park. And this will be my last question, and then we'll wrap up for the night. What's one ride at Magic Kingdom that you absolutely will not do? Ride or show or attraction. What's one ride, show, or attraction at Disney World that you absolutely will not do? Whether it's because, if it's Tron because you can't do coasters, or if it's Space Mountain because you don't like the dark coasters, whatever it may be. I don't care the reason, but what's one thing at Magic Kingdom that you absolutely will not ever do? Space Mountain for Helen. Laugh Floor, Le Mans. Oh, you're killing me. I will say the one thing I like about Laugh Floor is it's different every time. Yes, some of the jokes are the same, but because they get audience interaction, some of those jokes have to be spontaneous right on the spot, which I love. Astro Orbiter, Janie, I think that's a good answer. A, because some people don't like the heights. B, some people don't like the enclosed elevator that you got to ride up. Tina, you are just blowing us up here. Wow. Pirates. Shannon, we did have a great time at the Laugh Floor when we did that. That was so fun. Lori was on camera and she could barely breathe. She was laughing so hard. So Tina is willing to doesn't want to ever ride Pirates. Yeah, Ronnie, you're right. I don't know. Maybe, Tina, do you need a Snickers? Maybe that's what's going on. Just kidding. So gosh, for me, one thing that I don't want to do at Magic Kingdom, and I'll do everything. Dina, I'll ride the teacups, but no spinning. No spinning. Just let's ride them. But if you're gonna spin, then I'm tapped out. Forget it. She's poking the bear, Scal. No kidding. I guess I'd obviously the treehouse, right? If I'm willing to get rid of it, it's something I don't know. It's probably been 20 years since last time I did it. This is going to hurt some of you, but if I don't go see the tiki room when we're there, I don't feel like I missed out on anything. Yeah, no spinning, Dina. Exactly. And there's when my kids were younger and I'd have to ride that doggone thing with them and they'd spin and spin and spin, they laugh, laugh, laugh. And I'm like, please don't let me throw up. All my kids are here. Please don't. Yeah, see, Helen, you forget it's there. Treehouse 2, played on as a kid at Disneyland. I broke your heart, Tina, with Tiki Room. I'm not saying I don't like it, but if I don't do it, I don't feel like I've missed out on anything. Here's part of the thing. There are some really, really, really good shows at the 4 Disney parks. I know somebody doesn't like Lion King show, but I love that. I love the Nemo show. I like the Bird show. Hollywood Studios, I think the Frozen sing along is pretty funny. I do enjoy Indiana Jones. I enjoy Beauty and the Beast. At Magic Kingdom, I love Mickey's PhilharMagic. Again, one of my top memories when Tanner was 2 and had the 3D glasses on, and he's sitting in my lap and he is actively reaching for the things like they're right in his grasp when he's trying to get them. So I love that. So for me, Tiki Room sits much further down the list of shows in priority order. And so there's only so much time in the day. And so if I don't get to it, I don't get to it. And I know a lot of people feel the same way about Country Bear Jamboree. And I'm okay with that too. That sits for me lower down, kind of like Tiki Room does. Ronnie, we can't be friends anymore. Jeez. Here I was saying we're accepting, of all the answers. Yeah, see, Helen, no Country Bears. I can accept that. Again, I'll go watch it. I'll go watch Tiki Room too. It's not like I absolutely won't do it. I hate it. It's just lower on the list. And so I'm okay with that. Okay, so let's go to Epcot then. What is one thing, and I know most of the answers, one ride, show, or attraction you absolutely will not flat out ever do, period? Mission Space. I figured that. We know that's not going to be Tina's answer. The Land. Oh, Tina. I'm holding it together right now, Tina, but when I end this, I'm going to have to break down and cry. No Mission Space for Ronnie. You can enjoy an MRI more, Skull. Skull, when you're there, if you want to try it, do the green. It's easier. Try that first. Dina just mentioned Mission Space Orange. We can text about it later. For me, again, if I don't ride Mission Space, I don't feel like I've missed out on anything at Epcot. Everything else I really enjoy doing. Figment ride, the Finding Nemo ride, Soarin', Living with the Land. All those things I enjoy. There might be a show or two around the World Showcase that if I didn't see or do, I'd be okay with. I can't tell you last time I went into the movie in Canada, for instance. Yeah, Helen, I'm totally good with Figgy. I'm good with that. I wouldn't mess with that. I mean, if they refurb the ride, that would be okay. But yeah, Figment will be safe. All right, let's move to Hollywood Studios. What's one ride, show, or attraction you absolutely will not do? So it's getting hard because there's not a lot there, right? Helen says Rock and Roller Coaster. Tell Ava I said hi. You want the original Figment ride back, Janie? I hear that. So Helen says no rockin' and no tower. So Helen, and Helen, you don't even like Phantasmic that much. So like that whole area of Hollywood Studios is like dead to you. Star Wars Launch Bay, Tina, I think that's a great answer. Frozen Sing Along says Le Mans. Ooh, this might be fighting words, but Tina, I like that answer with Star Wars Launch Bay. Janie, Star Tours. You just haven't ridden it with the right people. That's the problem, Janie. It's not the ride; it's the company. You didn't know that part existed for half your trip. I will tell you this. To me, that's if you do like those rides, Rock and Roller Coaster and Tower Terror, rope drop, go that way. Most people don't go that way. You might be able to ride both those rides twice in an hour because everybody is going to Rise of the Resistance. They're going to Mickey Minnie's Runaway Railway. They're going to Slinky Dog Dash. What is Launch Bay? So, Janie, when you go down the main strip of Hollywood Studios and you got the Chinese Theater in front of you, you take a 90-degree right and go there, and that's where the Little Mermaid show will be. And they've got, I think it's Disney Junior dance thing in there. Back further, if you keep going straight in there, that's where you can go inside a building and you can meet Darth Vader or Chewbacca. I think BB-8's there, a couple of those. That's the Launch Bay area. There had been speculation that was the area that they were going to demolish and do Monsters Inc. in. But now, as we know, they're shutting down the Muppet Courtyard and all of that, which I'm thankful that my family is going to be there for one last Muppet 3D vision before it gets shut down. Okay, so that's Hollywood. Okay. So let's go to Animal Kingdom. What's one thing that if you don't see or do while you're there, it doesn't break your heart? Everest for Helen. Whoa, Tina, the entire Pandora area. So you're not a Flight of Passage fan? Janie says Lion King. Ronnie says, well, I guess Ronnie, since we're already not friends, then go ahead and just say Lion King. That's fine. Bird Show by Tree of Life. Yeah, Le Mans, I could do away with that Bird Show. So Tina, you're not even a fan of Flight of Passage? Ronnie. I have to block your number on my phone now. Tina does not even like Flight of Passage. Wow. Dina says Bird Show. So I'm gonna give you my same answer that I gave of what something they could get rid of, and that is the Rafiki's Planet Watch. It's been years since I've been back there. Now I'm gonna be open and honest. When we go in May with Briggs, I know we're gonna take that train and we're gonna go back there, and we're probably gonna go in the petting zoo, and it's probably gonna be the greatest thing ever because I'll be enjoying it with him. And my answer will change drastically, probably. I think Animal Kingdom is a hard one to answer because there's not a lot there, period, right? I mean, you go at park open and stay till park close, you could literally do, I think, just about everything in Animal Kingdom in that day. A lot of people say Animal Kingdom is a half-day park. I think they're full of hooey because they're not doing everything. Yes, Tina, I think Briggs will absolutely love all the animals. Dina, what are you gonna ride for the first time this upcoming trip? Janie, you've not been on either Pandora ride yet. Man, there are, to me, there are certain rides, and I think as you get into newer technologies, things are just more spectacular, right? I mean, if you look at Magic Kingdom, if you've ridden Space Mountain and you've ridden Tron, there's clearly vast differences, right? For me, the first time you ride Flight of Passage, it's just like, wow, the technology and all of that, incredible. To me, as Disney sits right now, Rise of the Resistance is the most immersive experience ride they've got there. Just love it. So, yeah, Janie, I'd be excited to hear when you ride Flight of Passage, and same thing, Dina. I'd be excited to hear your feedback on what you guys think of those. All right, gang. I think we're gonna start to wrap up here. We've been going almost an hour and a half. It's good times tonight. Appreciate the questions that got sent in. I always enjoy those because anything I can do to help with your experience. Oh, Sherry, that's a great question. What dining reservations am I hoping to get for our upcoming trip? So we know what we're going to book, and it's only 2 dining reservations, group of 8, which can be hard to get anyway. We are, hey, Darla, welcome. We are huge fans of Tusker House, the character dining at Animal Kingdom. And so we're going to do breakfast there. We're going to try to get reservations between 9 and 10 in the morning. That way we can go at rope drop and do all of Avatar, Flight of Passage, and Navi before dining, get that done, then go have a nice hour and a half late breakfast, and then get to the rest of our park day there. And then that's on Monday. The next day we fly home, and late in the afternoon, we're going to go to Chef Mickey at the Contemporary Resort. Again, it's a dining. I haven't done that one in years. When the kids were younger, we did it and they loved it. I think the character experiences are a lot of fun, and I'm excited that we'll, be able to hop on the monorail and take it over from the Magic Kingdom, just so Briggs can ride in the monorail. I think he'll enjoy that. Yes, Tina, absolutely. Fingers crossed that Briggs does well with the characters. I suppose if day 1, day 2 in the parks and he's not digging the characters, we may reconsider and cancel our dining that we're going to book. But my dining window opens up this Sunday. So I'll be getting up super early Sunday morning to book our dining. There are a number of amazing reservation dining locations at Disney. Some are character dining that we enjoy. Heck, I enjoy the character dining even if I don't have kids with me. There are some non-character ones that I love too. At Hollywood Studios, I like 50s Primetime Cafe. I think that's good food, reasonably priced, and the atmosphere is a lot of fun. At Wilderness Lodge, Whispering Canyon is an amazing experience. It's all-you-can-eat skillet, so come hungry. They're a hoot in there. When we were there almost 2 years ago, we got there, Lori and I and Tanner, and we were meeting somebody there. We got there. They went ahead and seated us, and the waitress was like, "Where's your 4th person?" And we're like, "Well, he's on his way." And she said, "Well, can we call him?" I'm like, "Yeah, I guess." So I called him, and he answered, and she took the phone out of my hand, and she's like, "Where are you? You're late." She gave him a hard time about it. And then we sat, waited for him, and she like hung out at our table. She's like, "Is he here yet?" I said, "Yeah, he's walking up now." "Is he in the building yet?" "Here he comes." We're like, "Here he is." And she's yelling at him, "Hey, we're over here. We're over here." It was a hoot. We had so much fun there. Loved it. We love Tepanito, the hibachi style restaurant at Epcot for dinner there. Good food, good atmosphere. The last time we went, our chef was awesome. They did displays on the hibachi top that I'd never seen before at other places, which I thought was pretty cool. And for me, we always try to time that dinner so that when we're done, we're walking out and Luminous is starting up, in 30 to 45 minutes after that. Sometimes we stay up at the top on the second level of that building and watch from there. Pretty cool. Yes, Teppan, love Teppan, absolutely. Tina, enjoy that one a lot. There are so many others. I mean, we could spend 3 hours just going through the restaurants that are really, really good, but those are the few that I call out. Any enchanting extras that we will book? So Sherry, not this time. So my grandson is only 20 months. So he's too young for Bibbidi Bobbidi Boutique for a Prince makeover. He's certainly too young to spend the kind of money that you would spend on a lightsaber or a droid. So probably when he's a little bit older, we'll do that. That should be our next question for next week for chat. What's that? Restaurants, Tina? That's what you mean. Then let me know and I'll write that down so I have it for next week. Shannon, I know it was Yak and Yeti, but I'm like Yake and Yeti, Yake and Yeti. So yeah, Tina, if you're talking about restaurants, then let me know and I'll write that down for next week. But yeah, Sherry, there's a lot of really cool enchanting extras, but this trip, so if you were on early on, you heard me say this, there's going to be 4 generations, my dad, me, my son, and then my grandson, Briggs. So I'm incredibly excited about that it'll be 4 generations of our family there. So photos are going to be that much more meaningful to me. Seeing Disney through the eyes of a 20-month-old, through the eyes of his dad, my son, through me is going to be amazing. It'll be Briggs's very first time ever. It'll be their first time as a family together down there. My son's wife, Kennedy, she's a 5th grade school teacher, so that's why we're going when we're going. She's never stayed on property before, so I think that's going to be a really cool experience, for her to see her eyes, kind of light up when the bus pulls up in front of the resort that we stay at. She's never been to Epcot before. She's been to the other 3 parks, but never Epcot. So a lot of really cool firsts for all of us. And then, I mentioned the 4 generations. The other thing that really sticks with me, and I'm going to try not to get too emotional about this, but we went in 2020 after COVID, and it was my mom and dad, myself, Lori, and our youngest son, Tanner. Had a great time. It was very different, right? It was right after COVID, and you had 6 feet distancing, and they had no parades, no nighttime shows, none of that stuff. But when we came back home, my mom was adamant they were never going back again. She's not a big fan of air travel. It messes with her ears and things like that. And so she was like, this last time we're ever going to Disney. And so here comes, grandson, or to them, great grandson. And I remember last year saying, hey, what would you think about, all of us going to Disney? And my dad was like, heck yeah, let's go, sign me up. And my mom looked at him. She's like, well, we're not going. And he looked at her and he looked at me, and I said, Mom, if one of your concerns is the amount of walking that you have to do, she had her hip replaced a couple years ago. And so she's like, I don't know. I don't think I can do it. And I said, Mom, I can rent you a scooter for the entire trip. And you'll have that scooter at the resort. If we go to Disney Springs on our way to the parks, you'll have it the whole time. She's like, oh, if that's the case, then absolutely, let's go. So I'm tickled beyond pink that my parents are going to go, when I thought 5 years ago they were never going again. So I'm so excited about that. And they're already talking. Gosh, I haven't even shared my brand new news with you guys. Holy cow. I have a brand new grandbaby, granddaughter. She was just born yesterday, about 36 hours ago almost. Just the cutest, sweetest little thing. My parents are already talking about, like, in 2027 going again and going with them. Yes, her name is Poppy. So I have a grandson, Briggs, and a granddaughter, Poppy. And so my parents are already talking about going in 2027 to go. So I'm so excited about that it kind of rejuvenated my parents, especially my mom, about traveling and going to Disney. So I'm super excited about that. When we first talked about going this year, we thought it would be all of us. We really had to manage the trip around Kennedy as a school teacher. So it was spring break or summer, or we waited until Christmas. And we just kind of decided that very beginning of summer, because of snow days here, she's likely going to go to school the Tuesday, Wednesday after Memorial Day. And then we're catching a flight early in the morning the next day on Thursday to head down there. But once my oldest and his wife shared that they were pregnant and that they were going to be having the baby at the end of March, we're like, if they said they wanted to go, we wouldn't tell them no. But to bring a 2-month-old in the summer to Disney, I just was not excited about that. And they were like, you know what? We wouldn't get the most out of it. Certainly, she would never remember any of it. and it just wouldn't be the same. So they had made the decision before we talked about it that they were going to wait. And so again, my parents are already talking about going again in a couple of years with them. So I'll get to experience Disney firsts 2 different times, which is pretty exciting. Let's see here. Janie, thank you. I appreciate that. Thank you, Dina. I appreciate that. Skell, thank you very much. Thank you, Sherry. VBs, thank you. Hey, VBs, welcome in. Thank you. Appreciate that. Okay, so VB says, congrats, my girls are the best. I got to be just open and honest. I have 3 boys. And then we had a grandson. So having a baby girl, this is like a first for me. And so I'm excitedly nervous about it. That's all I'll say. I'm excitedly nervous about it at this point in time. I've had people already ask me, so are you ready to watch both grandkids at the same time? And my answer has simply been, not by myself. I'm not. And yesterday was a prime example. So we knew she was having the baby yesterday. Her due date was Sunday, and they had said if you don't go by then, they scheduled her to come in Monday evening so that they could start induction. So we knew she was having the baby yesterday morning sometime. Once she had the baby and they had some time together and they moved her into the postpartum room, they said, you guys can come on up. So we were up there around noon yesterday, brought lunch for them. We stayed for about 4 hours, 4.5, something like that. And then we came home, and my middle son and his wife brought Briggs to our house and left him with us so that they could go to the hospital so they could see them. So I got to spend time with Poppy, and then I got to spend time with Briggs. So yesterday was an amazing day, but man, was I exhausted by the end of that. So no, I'm not ready to watch both of them at the same time. Be prepared for tutus, good sir. So Tina, look, I said this about my kids when I raised them. I've said it about Briggs. I'll say it about Poppy. I will support whatever they want to do, right? I coached baseball my whole life. I played baseball, loved it, lived it, breathed it. But if my boys didn't want to play it, I was not going to force them to do it. I'd support whatever they wanted to do. Same thing with the grandkids. If Poppy wants to go into dance and tumbling and all of those things, I'd absolutely support it. Her mom is an athlete and is like, she's going to play volleyball, she's going to play basketball, she's going to play softball. So that's up to them to handle, manage. But yes, I will support whatever. And if it's in a tutu, great. If it's in a pair of softball pants and cleats, I'll support that as well. And Helen, yes, I would support princess dresses too. You better believe it. Girl dad ×2 here. She'll have you. Look, BBs, I know that's going to happen. I mean, Briggs has me wrapped around his finger. So I know that's going to happen with her too. I'm a softie when it comes to that sort of stuff. All right. So God, I can't believe it was like the very end that I shared with you about the grandbaby coming. But anyway, so all right. So Tina, next week we want to talk restaurants. Is that right? I think that's what you had said. So I'll make note of that, and we'll plan to do that for next week. If you've not joined our Discord, I know Tina posted it further up in the chat. I don't know if Tina, if you want to post it again, but we would love for you to join our Discord. We have a page in Discord where you can submit your questions. Thank you, Tina. Submit your questions, submit your topics that you want us to talk about on these. And that allows me to prepare an agenda, so to speak. Because, if I've got 10 questions, that I don't need to do other stuff because we'll spend most of the time on the questions. If I only have 1 or 2 questions, I want to have other stuff for us to cover. And so that helps me out. Love to have you there. It's a fun community. We have a variety of different pages with different information. We are having our gathering in November down there. We did it last September. This November, I'm kind of spinning it to be the Park Life Party. Friends, family, singles, couples, whatever, all included. Would love to have you down there. I've got a page there with information on it. If you need help booking the trip, I would absolutely adore working with you. I don't help book trips because I make money. I help book trips because I'm helping make magic for people and memories for people. And that's what matters to me. Yes, the host resort, if you will, is All Star Movies. We designate one so that if people want to all stay at the same place and kind of be able to hang out at the resort, they can do that. I always pick a value resort because I want to make it as affordable for people as possible. But you can stay wherever you want. If you're a moderate or a deluxe resort person, knock your socks off and we can get you there as well. So November 13th through the 15th are the dates for the event. We are going to hopefully do Christmas tree stroll at Disney Springs. That Friday night, the 14th, will likely be a Mickey's Very Merry Christmas party for those that want to attend that. And then Friday during the day and Saturday during the day will probably be park days at one of the parks. We'll figure all that out. I know for me, I'm going to make sure I spend a little time at the Grand Floridian and check out the gingerbread house. So Shannon, yeah, I'm excited for you to take Chad as well. I think the big question is, are you going to be willing to bring him back home with you? Or are you taking him and leaving him behind? Just kidding. But yeah, so I'm excited to see all of the Christmas stuff. We enjoyed Halloween last year, other than the fact that it was hot down there. But I think we all had a good time with that, and we wanted to see something different this year. So we're doing it at Christmas time in November, hopefully before the crowds get to be what they are at the holiday time. Well, Shannon, if you got to leave them behind somewhere, Disney's not a bad place to be left. Yes, Tina, it was hot. Despite the fact it was mid-September, it was hurricane season, tropical hot. That's for sure. November should not be that hot. It won't be as humid. That's for sure. Yes, Dina, I've seen it a gazillion times on social media. I've never been there in person to see it, so I'm excited about that. Again, full disclosure, most of our family trips to Disney, you get there, you check into the resort, and your parks from open to close until it's time to fly home. And so I think in November for us, we're going to have some probably some down days, if you will, where we can resort hop and see some of the Christmas decorations, go enjoy the gingerbread house there, some of the other things at some of the other resorts, and just kind of take it a little easy. So looking forward to that. All right, gang, I think that's a wrap for tonight. Join the Discord if you don't mind. If you have not subscribed to the channel, we would love for you to do that. Share with your friends. See if we can grow this community. We'll do these lives every Wednesday night as best I can. I can promise you, had Poppy been born today, we wouldn't be doing this right now. I'd have been busy, but we'll try to do this every Wednesday, keep a nice cadence going on. And then I do post a podcast every Monday on this YouTube channel as well as on Spotify. So I think that's a wrap for tonight. Darla, thank you. I appreciate that. I really do. And Tina, thank you. Ronnie, it's good to see you tonight. Shannon, great to see you. Dina, always a pleasure. Even though some of you guys gave answers that really hurt me, I still love having all of you here. So I hope all of you have a great night and an even better tomorrow. Remind yourself each morning when you wake up, it is a great day to be alive. And I will see all of you again next week. Take care, everybody. Bye, guys.